Second step is a testing process. Today we're only talking about marijuana-specific DUIs. We're not talking about combination marijuana and other substances. That would be a different type of analysis, where you had a prescription drug in combination with the marijuana like Xanax, or illicit drug like cocaine, or more commonly alcohol. So with regards to marijuana specifics, we're looking for the nanogram levels of THC that are in the actual results from the blood draw. Once we have the results of the blood draw, we're looking for the actual level of the THC in the blood draw, the nanogram levels. It's important to remember that in the state of California, we do not have a per se level for impairment. Other states, such as Washington, pursuant to the passage of I-502, the recreational marijuana bill, enacted a 5 nanogram per se impairment level. The reason why it's important to understand this is because soon enough, these types of per se limits will spread across the country and will be something that will be enacted into law in the state of California. Once we have the results of the blood draw, we're looking for the nanogram levels of THC in the blood. The reason why this is important is because we're looking to see if there is a very high level, which might be more indicative of impairment, or a very low level, which might be more indicative of background usage or non-impairment. It's important to note that in California, there is no per se level with regards to the actual nanograms in your blood. However, if you look at a state like Washington, where they do have a per se limit that was introduced pursuant to the passage of I-502, the recreational marijuana bill, they have a 5 nanogram level that's a per se level for impairment in the state of Washington. The reason why that's important to know is because that level will start to spread across the country as other states adopt similar levels. Soon enough, that level will be adopted here in California. Pursuant to the laws of Washington, the 5 nanogram levels of THC must be taken and established within the 2-hour window of the time of the actual drive. This is similar to the 0.08 blood alcohol concentration laws that most people are more familiar with. The testing and lab results are designed to be one step in the overall process of law enforcement building the case to prove that you are actually impaired at the time of the drive. The test results go in conjunction with the observations of the officer of your driving, the statement you made, field testing, the DRE results. They're all put together as a combination to show the district attorney, judge, and the people, if the case actually went to trial, that based on all circumstances, you were actually impaired at the time of the drive. It's also important to look at the lab results and make sure that the crime lab actually tested for the nanogram levels in your blood. Sometimes they will just check for presence. Presence alone is insufficient to establish impairment. Another thing you can do is check to make sure and confirm that the actual nanogram level is the active metabolite. It's also important to look at the lab results and see whether or not the crime lab tested for the actual nanogram levels. A lot of times the crime lab will only test for the mere presence of THC, which is insufficient to determine whether you were impaired or not. It's also important to confirm that they tested for the active metabolite. Now let's talk about the court process. You can find us on the web at Glew Kim Law, GLEWKIMLAW.com. You can reach us by telephone, toll free 1-866-648-0004.